Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Liza McCarthy and in today's video we are going to be completing 3 illustrations I've been severely procrastinating on, and I filmed these materials like the clips and everything for this specific video. These illustrations weren't good enough for a video by themselves since they were like half complete or like a sketch or anything like that, and it wasn't a beginning to an end process. So I decided to have this sort of series video idea where I just complete random illustrations I've been too busy to get around to doing to motivate myself and keep myself accountable to actually finish them and not leave them for a year or two. So yeah, that's what we did for this video. That's the amount of sacrifice I put into it, and I hope you enjoy all the filmed material, and I did cut it as much as I could, so I just hope that you guys enjoy it. Anyways, in today's video we are going to be talking about something super interesting, which is going to be movies. I'm generally going to be talking about movies and different movies I watched and movies I really recommend, their synopsis and everything like that. So let's start. First of all, I would highly recommend for all those newbies or people who are really into D&D, I would highly recommend Dungeons and Dragons. It is a beautiful movie. First of all, it's like 2 hours long. I've rewatched it today with my brother because he wanted to watch it, and I really loved it. And I've already watched it like this August or so. It's about this band of sort of thieves, and they kind of made a mistake, and they had to basically correct this mistake because they unleashed this great evil power by helping a sorcerer sort of get a long lost relic. So they're trying to retrieve that, and they're trying to basically go away, like do those like adventures, and it's a really fun, amazing movie, and I would highly recommend. It's very easy, understandable, it has comedy, it's just a very fun, adventurous movie, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys could check it out, and because you would definitely enjoy it as much as I did. Anyways, then we have obviously Barbie. It is one of my all-time super highly rated movies. I've rated it 95%. Obviously, it is about sort of Barbie. I'm not gonna do any spoilers. It's about Barbie, and she goes on to this adventure to the real human world, and she goes to find out, what is going on with her, and you kind of get to follow along. You get to see how everything changes, how the main hero, like Barbie, right, how she handles all those realities and all those kind of the confrontation with the real world, and it's just super amazing. I do have to say that the plot changes throughout the movie, the main goal changes, and that is something for you to keep in mind. So don't be super expecting something. I feel like one of my friends watched Barbie. She didn't like it because she was the plot changes and there's just all these crazy stuff, and I'm just go with it because it's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be all fun and lighthearted, and at the very same time it's supposed to be heart-wrenching, beautiful, and amazing and comedic, and that's what it does, and that's what I love it. It's an amazing movie for that. So I just hope that you guys could really not take it seriously because it's Barbie and it's supposed to be giving off those vibes, and I really like it how it incorporates the sort of doll world and how we used to play as children, probably, right, Barbies, into the movie, and that's just amazing. The realization that you're good enough, all those amazing thoughts and all those kind of something we weren't self-aware of. I'm sure that every one of us has once, or maybe more at times, has felt at times like they didn't belong, like they didn't really fit in somewhere, like this is not like they're not good enough for something, and all those complicated thoughts and feelings get to kind of be processed. Some have said that Barbie's like against men and everything. It's not. Really, just watch the movie. It's not about that. It's about figuring out that you're enough and anybody can be Barbie. It's about that. It's about woman power especially, but it's about just like general power, and you could also see the power dynamics, like from the real world and compared to the Barbie world, and how all these changes and all those things, and your sense of individuality, self-worth, all those things are explored. So I really enjoyed the movie for what it was. I really loved it. It's a very highly rated movie. It's a very high rating that I gave it myself, and I really enjoyed it. Next, we're going to talk about a show. I haven't watched the 5th season yet, but I'm going to soon. It is called Disenchantment, and it's on Netflix. It was created by the creators of Simpsons, and I haven't watched all the seasons of The Simpsons, obviously. I have watched like the first 5 to 6, and there's like 20. I haven't watched that much. But I've watched episode 3 out and all those, and I really love The Simpsons. Their animation is just like amazing, and you get that from Disenchantment. But the plot of Disenchantment is this: there's this princess, and she doesn't want to marry. She just wants her own life, living her own life, kind of being free. And you get to explore that when she like finds her friends, gets into adventures, sort of all those fun stuff, and it's just super fun. And whenever I was drawing and like watching it, I sometimes just like pause my art just to watch it, focus fully on the show, and I really enjoyed it. It's not so long. It's like, I think every season has 10 episodes of sorts, and I finished it like this year, and then I was waiting like I finished it like in early summer, June or July, I would say. Probably July, and then I was waiting for September for a new season, and I'm going to watch it soon, but I have to watch some few other movies that I want to watch, and that's kind of in my plan right now. So I'm going to watch it as soon as I can, and I'm pretty excited for that. Then we have Jean de Barry. I'm sure I have a horrible pronunciation of the movie. It's a new movie starring Johnny Depp, and it's a French movie, obviously. I've watched it with subtitles. It was an amazing movie, truly. It was about this woman, Jana or something, right? Yeah, I really can't pronounce the name, sorry, but like, it's Jana, right? We're just gonna call her that. So she goes on to like become this mistress of sorts, and basically just follow her life story, her relationship with the king, and you kind of watch all that. It's a drama romance, and you get her sort of climbing up she's very intelligent, she's very witty, and she climbs out the social ladders, and like, she's very kind-hearted, she's an amazing person, truly kind-spirited, she's amazing, and not everybody loves her, but like the King Louis 15th, what was it? Or I forgot, but like the King Louis, right? He falls in love with her, and she moves into Versailles, like this palace of sorts, and you just get to see their love story. You get to see her treating others kindly, her going through life and climbing that and kind of living her own life, and I really love it. It doesn't, that historic movies feature a lot of nudity or a lot of those scenes that I specifically do not like. Personally, would not prefer to watch them, but I'm glad this movie has like 3 to 4 scenes, as far as I remember. It isn't that much, and it doesn't overpower the plot, or like, it's a coming of age movie, that's what I would say, because you really get to follow her, and you really get like her, and that's just beautiful. So I really enjoyed it. The other movie I've watched was a documentary by Netflix. It was The Mystery of Marilyn Monroe, the Unheard Tapes. I enjoyed it, but there's really not much to say. It's just you know, not a spoiler, but sorry to say, it just leads nowhere. The investigation leads nowhere. I give like a 60%, and I didn't feel like it was, I don't know. But I was drawing, and I don't really think that much of it. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was just like in her tapes, and you hear them, and people act throughout them, like pretending that they're speaking and everything, like actors, but like the recording is real. And I don't know, it was just there was really not much of that information, and I got lost throughout the whole documentary. So it was really, I don't know why I watched it, but I really was on this, I am on this Marilyn Monroe spiral, and I'm watching all her movies, getting through her discography, right? And I really wanted to see some of like the documentaries, because, you know, why not? And it was just not the best. Then we have Rosalind, and this one is pretty highly rated by me. I really enjoyed it. It was fun, it was cute. Okay, so this is a movie about Rosalind, and she is the ex-girlfriend of Romeo from the very famous telling of very famous story or pieza or whatever it was by Shakespeare. And it was Romeo and Juliet, and basically you get to see Rosalind, and it's like a retelling of sorts, like not modernized, it was still in the past times, but you get the modern language, and it was just so fun. So basically Romeo breaks up with her, and she's trying to get him back, obviously, and you get to follow her along that. You get to follow her story, what she does, how she changes, and how she warms up to Juliet. You get to see her slowly fall in love with Dario. You get to see her kind of be there with him. It's not really a spoiler, and you get to see kind of her living her life, changing for the better, and there's a subplot of love and romance in it. So it's amazing. It's an amazing movie, and it's very cute. So that's what I'm gonna say. The other movie I watched the other day was No Hard Feelings, starring Jennifer Lawrence, and it is an 18+ comedy, sort of. It's about this woman who has to date this socially awkward kid because he's 19 years old, because his parents are like wanting to get him out of his shell so that he doesn't feel so awkward. He's going to Princeton next year, and they really want to get their son being really involved in life, being really active. Obviously they're the type of parents that do everything for him, like they let him win, they obviously kind of guard, they really guard him, they really like keep him in, protect him from everything. They really track his phone, know his password. So, those type of parents that are helicopter parents, but they're still very active and still very concerned about their child, and they want to do the best for him. So you get to follow her kind of dating this boy and getting to know him, and her changing, and you're just gonna see this process of kind of her trying to save her mom's house and whatever happens. So you just get to see her going on this adventure with her own feelings, sort of kind of confronting herself, her past, and she is on the brink of losing her childhood home, obviously. So she's supposed to date this boy, and you're just gonna see whatever happens and how she kind of takes control of her own life. It was an amazing movie, like 70%. It was very, very funny. It did feature some nudity. It was funny, but it did feature a lot of like this sort of talks where it goes around, those type of intimate topics. It was a funny one. Nonetheless, it was a really, really funny movie. Another movie that I have, which is a high recommendation, and I did a rewatch today with my brother, it is The Outlaws. And this is a movie starring Nina Dobrev, Adam Devine, and Pierce Brosnan. So it's an amazing cast, you could really tell. So basically, it is about these sort of parents, and their daughter, like, she's a yoga instructor and she's getting married, and her fiance is a bank manager. And basically what happens is her parents are getting in this sort of, you get to follow them, see what's going through them, and her parents are the ghost bandits. She doesn't know about it, and you get to see her parents fix the mistake that they made, and you get to see all their, like, you know, them warming up to her fiance. You get to see, like, their adventures, and it's just so much fun. And I really loved the trailer. It was funny, but yet it didn't reveal a lot, and that's what I really enjoyed. So I highly recommend you check the movie out because it did give me a genuine laugh. This summer, I watched The Hype House, and to say the least, it was a very horrible show, like 40% max, like 30%. It was very entertaining, I would say that. It was a reality TV show of, you know, based on The Hype House, like the Netflix house. I know that I should have watched it earlier, but obviously The Hype House was losing their kind of popularity by the time the reality TV show came out, and I've watched it a bit later, like this year. I did not enjoy it, but I really found it to be interesting. I thought that everything felt fake, their problems were unrelatable, they were totally delusional at some points, and it's just them navigating everything felt bad. And I feel like if it was with Charlie D'Amelio or Addison Rae or Dixie D'Amelio, it would have been relevant, or Noah Beck or anything like that, if they kind of did involve those people. But since they didn't, even Chase Hudson, right, he was leaving them, so, you know, the show was just, in my opinion, personally, irrelevant. It was just like a drama sort of show, and me and my brother had a really, really good laugh after watching the show. Like, it was pure chaos, pure mess. It was just, I don't know, I feel like if they would have done it earlier, it would have been, like, much more interesting, but because, you know, those are the people that attracted attention, and it would have made people be, like, more aware of what they're watching, being, like, interested in watching this. But it was a sure wildfire. It was just, like, not interesting. It was a mess, and it was just not interesting, but it was really fun. It kept my attention for what I did, and after finishing it, I was really relieved to finish it. But anyways, it was just fun for what it was, and I enjoyed watching Nikita Dragoon get into those sorts of controversies and dramas and everything. Like, I don't know, everything just personally to me felt a bit fake, and, like, I don't know, I didn't really trust the way they said everything. But they're not actors, and I know that, and, you know, I don't know, it was just not for me personally. Another show I would recommend that you check out this fall, if you haven't, it is The Only Murders in the Building. I am yet to watch season 3. I really love this show. So it's about Mabel and these two grandpas that get into this sort of murder happens in their building. Like, I'm talking about the first season, not going to talk about the second one. And basically they have this obsession with true crime, and they listen to true crime episodes, like podcast. And when this murder occurs basically in their apartment building, the trio team up and suspect murder employees and everybody. They just suspect people. They kind of build and investigate this sort of case and what is happening around it. But then they find out that the killer may be living within them, and they're just deciphering all these stuff. And it's just an amazing show. I really loved it. One of my favorite characters was obviously Oliver, and so basically the trio is Oliver, Charles, and Mabel, and the casting is amazing. It includes Selena Gomez, my favorite, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. And I obviously loved the whole trio, they're kind of the whole vibe within them, like the way they worked about the cases, and every season is sort of a new murder occurs, and you go through that, you kind of tie in the ends, and it kept me guessing, and I did not guess right. In the first season, it definitely caught me off guard. The second season, I definitely knew what was going on. I definitely figured that one out. But I was kind of half right on the twist. Anyways, it's an amazing show. I highly recommend it. I recommend it all over to my relatives a lot. And I really, really want you to check it out because it's amazing. And it has 98% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I really enjoyed it. I give it like 95% rating because it was just an amazing show, and I could not give it less. Thank you guys so much for watching, for listening, for kind of engaging with my content, liking my videos. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had some good recommendations off of me, and have a good day.